Hello, welcome back to my session. I hope you all are safe at home. And now today I'll be talking about cultivation of cash crops. See, there are two types of crops. First, it is the food crops. Another, it is the cash crops. Food crops includes rice, wheat, etc., pulses and everything. While talking about cash crops include tea, coffee, oil seeds, etc., and sugarcane as well. Yes, I know everybody like sugarcane juices, right? Okay, but it's not safe to go out and drink all these things. So please be at home, stay safe and keep studying, please. Okay, now what was happening was the 19th century saw an increase in the cultivation of commercial or cash crops such as indigo, jute, oilseeds, etc. These crops were widely used in the British manufacturing industries and hence the company encouraged their cultivation. Now what was happening was British company was using these cash crops. See, India is a land where there is suitable climate for the food crops also and for the cash crops also. Now what was happening was Britishers was taking advantage of all these things, and they forced the Indian peasants and the farmers to only grow or sow only cash crops. Now what was happening? If the level of cash crops will increase, there will be a declination of the food crops. Food crops will decline gradually. Okay, now we'll be talking about indigo, which is a cash crops, and we'll talk about its case study. What happened was, see, indigo is basically a blue colored dye obtained from the indigo plant. It is used to dye clothes. Now come to the on page number 24. There's a small box of brown color in which it is written the uniform of the British police, the hospital staff, the army and the industrial workers was dyed with indigo. This inspired the term blue collar workers. Please learn this. Last year it was asked as in defining of the terms, it was asked what is blue collar. So please learn it. Okay. So we all know indigo is a blue colored dye which is obtained from indigo plant. Okay, now what happened was Britishers continuously forced the Indian farmers to grow only indigo. What happened before was Britain used to import all the indigo from different countries, but due to the declination and because of the industrial revolution, there was no there was no importing of the indigo from North America or from different countries to Britain, and Britain did not have a suitable climate for that. So they turned to Indians and asked them to grow only indigo. Now what happened was the farmers were coming into the declining of the food crops, and because of which there was a very big rebellion against it. There was a rebel against it. There was a total revolution about it. So I'll be telling you, I'll be reading it out and will tell you. Yes, Britain needed indigo to dye clothes. Since the climate of England was not suitable for growing indigo, it imported indigo from other places, particularly from West Indies and from North America. Now, to meet its growing demand for indigo, Britain turned to India. Indigo had been grown in India since medieval times, but only a small portion of the land was used to cultivate it. The company now forced the farmers in Bengal to grow indigo. By the beginning of the 19th century, Indian indigo was a major export to England. Since indigo cultivation fetched huge profits to the company, some officials of the company began to privately invest in indigo plantation. Now what was happening was English companies, these British companies were having a huge profit of it, and therefore they forced the Indian farmers to grow only and only indigo. Now there is this one person, Deen Bandhu Mitra. In 1860, he wrote a play called Neel Darpan, the Indigo Planting Mirror, in which he highlighted the atrocities. Atrocities means big problems faced by the indigo planters on the indigo cultivators. The indigo cultivator was also not free to sow other crops. Even if he could not, because he found the indigo crop had exhausted the fertility of the soil. See, what happened is when you keep on growing only one crop again and again, the soil will lose its fertility, and the same thing happened over here. The Indian farmers were forced to do so. Okay, therefore there was a rebellion. The Indigo Rebellion of 1859 and 60 is very famous. In Bengal, it was a powerful peasant protest. It was the first time when the peasants, farmers protested against the Britishers. Clear? Now, it was a program of non-cooperation with the planters. Now, what is non-cooperation? Non-cooperation simply means when you don't cooperate. If I say bring your copies, I'll be submitting your copies tomorrow. 50% will bring and 20% will not bring. Okay, so those 20% are not cooperating with me. Simple. So non-cooperation means when you don't cooperate. Clear? Okay, now what they did was these planters, these Indian peasants and farmers did not cooperated with the Britishers, and in 1859 and 60 there was a big rebellion against it. Clear? I hope you have understood the chapter. For any doubt or query, you can personally call or text me. Okay, and now I'll be discussing with you the correct answer, exercise A and exercise B, and yes, short answers and long answers I will be giving it to you. Okay, so you don't need to worry, and I've already explained you. I've given you the sample. You have to first write terms of glossary, short answers and long answers. That's it. Nothing else. No difficult words. Nothing. Okay, now let's discuss the exercises. First, when the British came to India, dash was self-sufficient units. What were self-sufficient units? Villages, yes. Dash was the main source of income for the British. Yes. Land revenue. This system of revenue collection was introduced by Lord Cornwallis in 1793. Permanent settlement system, very good. Land under British rule became a saleable commodity. This was another crop with which the peasants had to sow along with the indigo. They were not allowed to sow any other crops. It was only and only indigo. Okay, so none of the three. Now coming to exercise B, write true and false. The English East India Company wanted a regular source of income. Yes, everybody wants a regular source of income. The Raiyatwadi system was introduced in Bengal. False. Where was Raiyatwadi introduced? It was Western Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, right? Okay. The company forced the peasants in Bengal to grow cash crops. True. Indigo cultivation was a capital intensive job. No, it was a labor intensive job. What is a capital intensive job? Capital intensive job means, capital means money, in which you have to invest a lot of money, but that was labor intensive job. Why? Because it requires a lot of manpower, a lot of farmers, laborers. Clear? Okay, so now I'll be giving you short answers and long answers. Till then, take care, and I'll be coming and I'll be meeting you in my next session with another chapter. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and keep studying. Bye-bye.